Okay, so today we are going to discuss an opening because last time we discussed the fried liver attack. We had a very good class, and people who watched the video also liked it. The fried liver attack video. There were like 132 views so far.
Remember that one time when Advait made the joke about the Frank liver?
Okay, now coming back to the position. Today we are going to discuss one of the most romantic openings. They say it's the most romantic opening. Not romantic in the sense lovey-dovey romantic. Romantic in the sense it's an opening where you focus on like you're giving away stuff and you're focusing on peace. You're focusing. That's not a romantic opening. Romantic opening are openings like King's Gambit. E4, E5, and how do you play the King's Gambit?
F4.
Yeah.
And
This is our first. Right now we're focusing on this. So when we're doing one thing, focus on that. You need to learn doing that. Yes.
So what's the difference between the King's Gambit and the Vienna?
So in the Vienna, you're not giving up your pawn. In the Vienna, you're going to play knight c3. You're going to prepare f4, and then you're going to play f4.
So that's not.
That is, yeah. After d3, you're going to play f4. That's how. That's why it's called Vienna.
So it's like oh wait, sorry. So like you take the knight out.
Where knight f3?
No, knight c3.
Then
the main man is like knight f6, right?
I didn't play black's moves. Now why is it called the Vienna? When white plays d3, you need to understand the idea. It's not exact move order that matters.
Oh, so,
the opening is its idea.
Is to like, So the idea is like after black plays a move, you put f4, they take, but then you bring your knight out, stop queen h4 check.
No, that's not the idea. Nobody's going to give you queen h4 check for free. If you get queen h4 check right now, for black, queen h4 check pawn will go to g3. What's the point of that? See, understanding an opening means understanding the idea behind the opening.
No,
so when you're playing the Vienna as white, you are basically preparing f4 and playing f4. As simple as that. Now what black does not change the opening. In the King's Gambit, you're directly giving up the pawn in the second move itself. So right now we are going to focus on King's Gambit. This opening. E4, E5, F4. Now what is the best way to deal with King's Gambit? What should black do here?
Accept it.
Okay, accept or decline? Ranjit, what do you say? What will you do if somebody plays this as black?
Accept.
You will accept it. Anyone who declines? Nobody wants to decline?
No.
So what happens if they decline? What's the problem with declining? Okay, yeah, yes.
So mostly people will go queen h4.
Queen h4 is just a silly move. Pawn g3 and queen will just have to go back. So there's no point in that. So let's focus on the main things, which is either declining or accepting. So let's say they decline. Why is it so bad for black? It is bad for black. Not that bad, just slightly bad. And why is it slightly bad for black? Who can tell me? Yes.
Sir, because our flank pawn takes the center pawn.
But you can't take it right away. If you take right away, you're in a losing position.
Sir,
Black to play and win.
No,
That doesn't. What do you mean double? How is it double? Pawn will take back. No?
Knight to f3.
Yeah, pawn takes f4 is a blunder because.
Because then that pawn will come, sir.
How is that bad
So
for
queen
white?
h4, sir.
Yeah, because of queen h4. The black queen gets to h4 and now you don't have g3. G3 means queen takes e4.
So you have to move the
King, which means it's anyway bad. Queen will take the pawn and the position is lost.
So you need to push, right?
If you push, then you lose the rook now. That's also lost.
No, not push.
Before playing pawn takes pawn.
Yeah, like
You're saying push. No, pushing will not give you an advantage. Pushing will keep things closed. If you want to get a good position after black declines it, you have to play.
Knight f3.
Yeah, you have to first develop your knight.
That's what I was saying.
And then the reason this is good for white is white will get all the advantages of the King's Gambit, which is open f5. After you castle, your rook will be attacking f7. Your bishop will come to c4, most under control with the f pawn and e pawn. Everything is great for white without even giving a pawn.
But sir, there's a counter attack to the King's Gambit.
No, that is okay. So Ahana was asking what's the difference between Perk and King's Indian. Do you know either of those openings?
Sure, no, sir, but they're both.
If you don't know both openings, then how will you know the difference? So step one is learning both those openings. Simply saying different names and asking what's the difference between this and that doesn't make any sense.
No, sir.
First, you need to learn what is Pirk.
Yeah.
Then you have to learn what is King's Indian.
No, I read in a book.
Did you understand what is Pirk? Do you know how to play the Pirk?
No.
Then that is no. Whether you read in a book or read somewhere doesn't matter. If you don't know the pirk, you have to learn the pirk. First learn that opening. Then try to understand the difference between that and another opening. You're simply trying to sound intelligent by asking different openings. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help you. What will help you is focusing on one thing.
Yes,
When you learn in King's Gambit, focus here, on this position, not about other different openings. There's no point in that. So this is the last time I'm telling you. When you're focusing on one thing, you will learn more. So this is where you need to focus.
Okay.
Now the question is, after knight f3, we were discussing why is it good for white. What is the answer? Why is it good for white?
So open F5.
Yeah, open f5, more development, more center control, everything without even giving a pawn. So when black accepts, black is at least a pawn up when white gets all these advantages. Here, white is not even a pawn down and white is everything. Which is why declining the King's Gambit is not a good way for black to play. If black wants to get an advantage, black can get an advantage. This is not a sound opening.
But sir, what about knight to C6?
Knight c6 is not a good way to play. Why is knight c6 not good? Who can find out? Why is this not so good? It's again declining, na? You're declining the gambit. Same reason. White will play the same thing, knight f3 and then take on e5. Here it is even worse, because after knight f3, when I take, you will take back, I'll get the center also. You are giving full center control to your opponent. So declining King's Gambit is not the way to play for black. If you want to get an advantage, or if you even want to have an equal game, you have to take the gambit. You have to accept the gambit, not decline it. Now what is the best move for white in this position?
So knight F3.
Yeah, knight f3 is very important.
Then sir,
If you don't play knight f3, it's already lost. Queen h4 is a big problem. We learned it the last time we had this opening.
we can also play bishop to C4.
Then what will you play after queen h4?
King to F1.
That you can play. But your king is in the middle of the board.
And also now the constant is.
You will 100% lose that game if you play that position.
But sir, why do grandmasters?
Because they can play that position, you can't. Have you reached that level where you can keep a king in the middle and still win or still draw? You're not at that level. So right now you need to learn the main lines. Once you reach a particular level, then you can try out other things. So you cannot imitate what grandmasters do. They do what they do because they can play those positions. You can't. So you cannot keep a king in the middle of the board, allowing queen h4 and say that I'm going to win this game. So that takes more knowledge, which you don't have right now. So that is why in this position, the best move for you would be knight to f3,
So that
developing a piece and stopping queen h4. Simple chess.
Then I play G5.
Yeah, the best move now for black would be to play g5. Why is black playing so aggressively?
So for that. So they want to do H4. So.
Yeah, they want to play g4 and then queen h4 check, which makes us think what should white do?
Okay. H4.
h4. H4 is a good choice.
H3, right? It's H4, no?
You have options here.
Sir,
The main move is
the main move is H4.
second best is
Bishop to C4.
Hmm.
Going for the Muzio Gambit.
yeah, and third best is
H3.
yeah.
H3.
So basically the first option is h4. We are allowing g4, but we are not allowing queen h4. We are stopping queen h4 forever. We have to have the slight discomfort of moving the knight out of there. But those pawns are overextended. We'll probably pick it up soon. So that is, we'll go deep into this, but let's first understand.
That well, that's why I came a bit late. So
Okay.
can I sit on the sofa?
Okay. So now we are just discussing what are the options. Not going deep into those lines. Deep into those lines you can go once you understand the basics.
Sir, can you play knight G5 in that position? So
In this position, that you have to find out what is the best move. The only way to find out is use the computer. Use opening analysis and find out the best move in this position. So you have to prepare your openings. If you're going to play in tournaments regularly, you have to do work on your openings. How will you do work on your openings?
by studying them.
How do you study?
So you could go to a database and then like analyze. See the opening, you could analyze, you could read books. There's so many.
No. Reading books will not make your openings sharp. If you want to know in this position what's the best move,
So
can you read a book and find out?
So can we check openings analysis? So what if you were in the 18th century and then there were no computers and
Are you in the 18th century right now?
no.
So you use what you have right now, na? Not what 18th century people had. Right now you have Opening Explorer. All you have to do is open chess.com, go to Opening Explorer and find out. Put this position on the board. Put this position on the board and find out what is the most played move here. or what the computer says. You don't even need opening explorer. Just open the computer analysis, like set up the analysis board, and then you put this position, play the moves till here, and find out what the computer is telling you. So here the computer would tell you to move the knight to g5 or e5. After g4, knight g5. Now what should black do, because this pawn is about to be taken? So these things, yeah, what do you say, Ayush?
h6.
h6.
So I want to play.
h6 is very risky, because now the King's Gambit players will not mind playing a move like this. They'll just give up their knight, and
then-
they'll get 2 pawns and probably 3 pawns.
So
And
from-
they are next going to play bishop c4.
So it's kind of
This is
like
disaster for black. Like Musio.
they should
Yeah.
play king, pawn to
So-
h5.
H5 is possible. Let's go back.
So what
So-
about d3? So d3.
So black has to be careful, is what I'm saying. When you're facing the King's Gambit, you cannot just hold on to everything, kick the knight. You have to be a little careful. So let's go back.
What's this king's So I want to just play.
Yeah, we're discussing the King's
So in
Gambit.
that position, I want to play like
Huh.
d6 or something.
D6. H5 is what Pradeep told. H5 is okay. It is definitely fine. Now what
Sir,
will... Yes.
Can we play our pawn to g3 black?
Why? That's just extra... Oh, for black.
Huh.
After H5, it's white's turn. No? How will black...
No. If you wouldn't play h5.
H5. You want to just play pawn G3.
Yes, sir.
That is okay, but it's like wasting a move in the opening. It doesn't do much.
but-
I'll just play pawn D4.
So why not?
Next time I want to play bishop.
g3.
I'll just play bishop C4 actually. Just directly bishop
But
C4.
if or why can't you play queen to
Once
queen to h5?
queen to H5. Huh, queen H5. Yeah, then he'll play
Sir,
queen
pawn
E7.
to g3
Hmm.
gives the can give the knight the opportunity.
To come back, yeah. You're losing control of this square. So yeah, later when they play H6, they don't even need to sacrifice. They can just come back to F3. So the good point. So G3 doesn't make sense there. So after knight G5, you can play pawn D6 and defend your pawn. That's one option, but they will again attack you. So instead of knight G5, the better option would be knight E5.
Why, sir?
Because you're also attacking the pawn.
It's in the same and you're also
Yeah, you're doing the same thing, but by doing one more thing. So this will go on. There is opening preparation to be done. You have to find out
It's
what
like-
exactly
it's
is
like-
the move.
It's like drinking tea at the same time working.
Okay.
Instead of just working.
Okay, now coming back to this important position, the main position.
So very important lesson you taught us today is not to copy what grandmasters do. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay, now coming
so
to the
unless
position.
you like.
What are we discussing right now, Ahan?
So the king's gambit.
No, exactly what are we discussing? In the King's
So-
Gambit, what are we discussing?
So the main line of the king's gambit.
Okay, so what did we already discuss in this position? What did we finish discussing? Which
So-
move did we finish discussing?
Yes. So ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we just
Yeah, sure. One second. Let me. Yes, sir. What did we finish discussing?
So we finished discussing the main line.
You finished the main line. Wow. You're so good then if you already finished the main line.
No,
So
sir.
this was the main line.
This was in the main.
Then what did we discuss then?
Okay, we'll discuss the so much.
Discussed.
Yes, sir. Discuss the first three moves of the king's gambit. Did we discuss the secondary?
No. You need to listen properly if you want to understand. Now first let him finish.
So we discussed why it's bad to decline the gambit.
That was long back. But just now what did we discuss?
So we discussed like the moves you can play after like if you play h4.
So we basically discussed the line with h4. Simple as that, na? Huh. So one of the three options here is h4. h4 is a main option for
What
me.
are the other two?
That we will see, na. For that you have to be patient. Why are you putting a gun in my mouth? Let me speak, no. So pawn h4 is the main option. The second best, no picking noses in class. You're going to touch pieces. Please wash your hands and come. Ayun, you're going to touch pieces after that. Okay. So in beginner level, many kids do that, and I have to tell them to wash and come. Here, Ayun becomes the first person to be caught. Okay. So after h4, we saw what happens. G4 will happen. Then knight will move. G4 will hang, and all that. That you have to prepare. Now the second main option is not h3. It is bishop to c4. Yeah. The point of bishop c4 is you're allowing g4. You're telling black, play g4.
Sir, even I don't know
But when you play...
Sir, why do
Okay.
they have to play that?
Because they played g5, why did you play g5?
To attack the knight.
To attack the knight and to play queen h4. That's why black wants to do this. So you can not play g4. It's up to you. You can stay in this
Is it
position.
bad if we play g4?
Oh, you have to find out. No, you go there, then you'll find out. No.
So when
So
you
for that you have to listen properly.
Sir, I know this, sir.
What do you know?
Some moves. So when you play G4, you sacrifice one of the
No, we'll get there. Right now, let's just understand the move bishop c and what black wants. Black anyway wants g4. So now white is telling black, you can play g4. You can attack my knight. If I move my knight, you will play queen h4. I'll allow all that. But the okay, next person to wash hands, please go and come. Everyone
So
else,
Ayun is still there?
pick the nose. Yeah, he's still there waiting for you. Okay. So after g4, the point of playing bishop c4 is white is going to give up there.
Knight by castle.
No, not right away.
Sir,
Yeah,
but
just
what
castle.
about black's move?
Not in this position, bishop takes pawn. After some time, bishop at f7 will come. So castles. What are you doing? Please sit down. No.
Follow me.
So basically, black will take the knight, but white will say you're up a piece. But now everything is going to come on f7. I will take f4, and there will be too much pressure on your pawn. So black will have to defend properly.
So I know, sir, when they
How will you defend properly?
So they will play queen f6.
They will play queen f6. Okay. So if they play queen f6, let's say, what do you think white's best pawns? How many of you played the King's Gambit?
So I played.
1, 2.
I
Pranit has not played. Okay, 3.
So I played like a
Sila hasn't played? Yeah.
Pawn to d3.
Yeah. Pawn d3 is actually important because queen d4 is a threat. It will be a fork. So pawn d3. What will black do? Ask me.
Sir, bishop to h6.
Okay, good. You know this line, right?
So I should understand, sir. He didn't.
Yeah. No, you told queen f6 and then bishop h6.
Sir,
Now, yes.
I was going to in this position.
Silence here, please. Yeah.
In this position.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing.
In this position, nothing happens. Okay. Now, it's still a piece down for white. But white has still got a good bishop, a good rook. And you're about
So
to
now he's starting with the bishop.
sacrifice the bishop. Bishop f7.
Yes.
Why? Queen takes. See, if you can start throwing away your pieces, then there will be nothing left.
Well, now.
You're already knight down. Now is not the
Now
time to
we
give
don't
up.
take the bishop.
You have to first develop. You cannot simply throw away pieces. Playing King's Gambit doesn't mean give one piece there, give one piece here, and then you win. You won't win like that. You will lose. You have to bring your pieces out.
Sir, can we take? Can we do b f4?
Bishop takes f4. So, Mr. One second.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Prayan, are you down material right now?
Yes, sir.
So, do you want to exchange of 2 more pieces?
No, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. So, if you play bishop takes f4, I'll just take.
Ooh.
One bishop exchange, now queen will also be exchanged. Then you'll have nothing there, no? You're down a piece in the
But
end
then,
game.
sir, after that, then we can take the pawn on it.
Then after that, again, it's your move, is it? He will give up the pawn, no? So, he will defend the pawn. You're just down a piece in the end game with no queens left, no attack, nothing. So, that is not going to work. So, you cannot take on f4 and exchange of your bishops and queens. You have to increase pressure. So, then where was the knight? It's gone. So, knight c3 is the way to go forward. So, because knight d5 is coming, there is going to be threats on the board. So, black has to defend a little bit. Like here, for example, what move will you play for black? C6, stopping knight d5. That's one option. Anything else? Any other option?
Knight
Huh.
to e7.
Yeah, knight e7 is better because you're bringing out a piece and stopping knight d5. Right, so you bring out a piece. If black manages to develop these two and castle, then black is in a great position. It's a piece up,
So,
right?
if black castle short,
No, that is an open highway. Why would you want to castle shot? That will not be safe.
So
I
national.
mean, it's still okay. It's
So
that,
national highway dangerous.
yeah, it's still safer than being in the center, but he would prefer to go this side. But this will take some time. So this was the second option. First one was h4. Second one is the Museo Gambit, where you sacrifice a knight to get pressure on the f7 square and to control the center.
And so the bishop gambit worth it, sir?
It's not, if black plays properly, black is winning. So Museo Gambit is not worth it. Against some opponents it will work. If they're under pressure, they'll break. But against decent opponents, they will defend properly.
so
But-
don't go to tournaments and play them.
You can try. I mean, you can try and see, na?
So, but if you want to get like winning
Yeah.
win the tournament, then you go.
Yeah, then you shouldn't
Sir,
go
it's
for
like
this.
gambling.
Then you shouldn't even play King's Gambit. King's Gambit is an unsound opening. It used to be.
Queen's Gambit is wrong.
Why are you going from one topic to another topic just like that? How, one second. How is King's Gambit related to Queen's Gambit? There is no connection. Only connection is Gambit. That doesn't make any real connection. So right now we're talking about King's Gambit, not other openings.
So Gambit is an unsounded.
Yes.
meaning?
So you unsound as in it's not considered good for white.
It's not.
If you play the King's Gambit as white, black will get a small advantage. Normally in any opening, white will get a small advantage out of the opening, which won't be there in King's Gambit. It will be opposite. But for that, black has to play a little carefully. That's all. So yes.
You know what? When I'm
I didn't understand.
1%.
When I'm focusing on the words that those sparkling dropping are like
Tempting.
yeah,
Distracting.
it's quite tempting.
So the tournament is on April 14th.
Yes. April 4th is the intermediate tournament and April 14th is the estimate tournament.
So there are no prizes in that.
In
So I
the-
thought the intermediate tournament was
When one person is speaking, let him finish. Don't cut him off.
So
Then
I-
how will anybody understand
I
anything?
thought the SKB the intermediate tournament was on April 3rd. So,
Uh-huh.
so
Beginner.
that's
April 3rd is beginner tournament. So you can play in the beginner tournament, not April 4th. April 4th will be tough for you. So,
so but if I want to, I can.
you can. You can play in beginner and intermediate if you want to. Or just intermediate or just beginner. It's up to you. April 14th one is what the trophy is. April 4th not good.
Sir,
Yeah. Those who are intermediate can play in advance. Those who are beginner can play in intermediate and
can we
advance.
get it in that now?
Yeah.
So
if you want.
April 4th is in your house, right?
Yeah, here only.
So April 4th is
Okay. Now, yes.
Sir, in the intermediate tournament, we get federated.
No. Federating is when you play federated tournament. That is outside with hundreds of people playing with you. Those are big tournaments.
So
Anyway,
I went there.
where did the pawn go? Yeah, here.
So the pot is a player.
So coming back to the King's Gambit,
So
Prayan
can
has
you
no.
still register for the intermediate tournament?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay. So, Prayan, do you know how to play the King's Gambit? No. You, not that well. Yes or no? What do you mean not that well? So it's either a no or yes. You know or you don't. There's no in between. So E4, E5.
There is a in between.
What is
You know,
this?
God, boy, teacher, like,
No, playing King's Gambit means playing the first two moves. Na? That is playing King's Gambit. To play it well, that needs some more knowledge.
Oh, only this much is King's Gambit.
No, this is not King's Gambit. Gambit means giving up something. You don't give up anything.
After F4,
Yeah,
it's
now
complete.
comes, can you be quiet? Now comes pawn F4 and this is the King's Gambit. You're giving up a pawn to black, but in return, you're going to get a position with more development, more control of the center and pressure on F7. That's why people play the King's Gambit. So we were discussing after knight F3, black's main move is G5, preparing G4. And now we discussed H4, we discussed the Monsieur Gambit, and we'll also discuss the H3. It's not that popular. You are creating a hole here, which means when you castle, there will always be problems on this square, and knight can come and secure.
Sir,
Yeah.
let's say you play bishop to c4 and then you castle, right?
No, black's turn, no?
Yeah, you play bishop c4
Okay.
and then black plays something like bishop
Okay.
and then you castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you always have like an escape route. And
You
that
have an
is-
escape route, but there will be a stranger waiting outside, waiting for you to come. I mean, it's like if I can just play knight out, knight here, and there will be a knight always here, and G4 is going to come. This is going to be a problem if there is a rook here and a queen active. Then G4 will be a problem. I played silly moves for black. Black doesn't have to play bishop E7 and dot. Black can play bishop G7, queen out, rook G8, knight out, rook G8. So this is a bit risky playing H3 because there will be a hook on G4. So your king won't be safe, and there will be a weak square on G3 which black can occupy with a knight or a bishop or even a queen. So that's
even a pawn.
yeah,
Even a pawn in some rare cases.
yeah, pawn, yeah, but for that this pawn has to come here. So anyway, so that's why H3 is not the most popular response. The most popular is H4. And if you really want to play an attacking game at the cost of a knight, you play the Muslim. Now I'll also show you what I usually play against the King's Gambit. I take a slightly safer option. I don't go for G5. I'll show you what I do.
Oh, okay. So I know this.
So I'm showing you secrets of my opening prep.
So when did that one come there?
When black took it? Oh, this pawn. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. This pawn is out of the board. So E4, E5, F4 pawn takes. Now knight F3, right? Those who don't play knight F3 will get hit with queen H4.
And then
But I will play like a grandmaster and allow queen H4, king F4. So after, yeah, other than G5, there is no good move. If black just sits quietly and start developing like a good boy, then he will just get hit. Because, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say knight c6. I'll play d4.
Yay!
Let's say you play pawn d6. I'll play bishop out. Let's say you play knight
Why
f6.
would you attack the knight with the pawn?
Then you're giving him squares, that's why. If you play a pawn push, you're giving him all the squares. So it's better to keep control, not push it. So now let's say knight f6.
Golden move, sir.
So now, in a matter of few moves, if you see, the position has become really good for white.
So all the golden.
Full control and all pieces active.
So
One,
why is
can you be quiet, please? Can you be quiet? When I'm explaining something, please be quiet now. I'm in the middle of a sentence. So you can wait before you speak. And after I castle, we are going to have pressure on the f file as well. You have played knight out, pawn d6.
So you want him to draw.
What do you mean?
The pawn is on c1.
Pawn is pawn.
That's why.
Huh. Even to say that you can wait till I finish my sentence. No, you don't have to jump there. So let's go back, which is why when somebody plays the king's gambit, black has to play energetically. Otherwise, black will be in trouble. So again, let's go back. After
So
e4.
examples, black plays properly how they should play for a good position.
Yes.
Who is winning?
What did you understand from listening all this time?
Yes, sir. I understood like gambit means sacrificing, and if
No, in regards to this question that you asked, what did you understand? Who is better or winning? Based on what you learned till now.
if black plays properly, black is winning.
Then you have the exact answer, no? Then why are you asking the question? You have the...
Which is
Okay.
just
So
bad
after they play the Museo, instead of playing g4, I just quietly play bishop g7. I'll show you what I will do as black. Bishop g7. Then I'll play h6. I'll develop the knight. And I'll tell white I'm up a pawn.
Sir, not a move.
I'm not up a knight, I'm just up a pawn.
So, but you didn't make black do anything. Like why? They didn't do
So
anything.
before I do all that, what did I tell? Did I tell something before doing these moves?
Yes, sir.
No,
So you
what
should
did I-
that's what you play.
Huh?
But what if they play something that makes it dangerous for that? No. That's
Like what?
Like,
What makes it dangerous to play castles and
like
knights
who
and
it
bishop
takes
g7?
to kill.
So try to understand what is being told. Instead of being in a hurry to speak, try to listen more. Then you'll understand.
Oh, son.
What I'm showing is the plan for black. That's not that difficult to understand.
Yes,
You have
sir.
to have the mindset to listen instead of talking. So you should not think, when will I open my mouth next? That's what is in your mind always. Not listening, nothing. So if black plays like this, you're taking a more safer route. You're not taking this knight, which white is giving you, but you have an extra pawn. And your king is safe and your pieces are developed. And this is how I get a
Sir, can you now
decent
take the
position.
knight?
Take what knight? Now if I play g4, it's risky. My king is residing here. I don't want to open the g file and allow the queen to come out.
Sir, I didn't understand how is it risky.
Because you're opening up your king side.
It's like,
Right now there is stability.
So
The pawns
the
are defended.
nothing can
The
change.
moment you start pushing them, they are not defended. Opponent will come and take it. There will
Sir,
be pressure.
what if white plays h4?
Then you have to push them. Or you can stay there itself. If white plays h4, we defend it. How will we defend? Bishop f6, knight g6.
Sir, pawn?
Pawn takes back.
No, f6.
Pawn f6 is not possible because it's pinned. So it will be possible only if the king moves. But anyway, if h4 comes, we will worry about that later.